So why is Atlanta such a great place to live? As a lifelong Georgian, let me give you my top 3 reasons why I love living in Atlanta. Number 1, the active outdoor lifestyle. I've often talked about how great the weather is in Atlanta. It's not too hot, not too cold, just right. This makes it very easy to have an active outdoor lifestyle. Whether you like hiking, biking, tennis, golf, soccer, anything you like to do outdoors, you can do pretty much all year long in Atlanta. If you like sports, it's super easy to find a sports league to join. You're going to make new friends really quickly. And they're going to have every level from junior to senior, from beginner to pro. And again, most of them play all year round. Now you could get the impression from the highways that Atlanta is just a big chunk of concrete. In fact, it's a giant forest. And Metro Atlanta takes advantage of this with an extensive park system. There's Piedmont Park in Midtown, which was designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, who also designed Central Park in New York City. From Midtown all the way down to the south side, Atlanta's Beltline provides miles of walking and bike paths, access to some of Atlanta's most historic neighborhoods, and more food halls and beer gardens than you could imagine. I have a terrific full-length video I did on the Beltline, and I'll link to that in the description box below. Atlanta's brand new Quarry Park recently opened on the west side, just a mile or so from Georgia Tech. This is the site of the old Bellwood Quarry where they mined for granite, and now it's a huge reservoir in the middle of a brand new 280-acre park. You might recognize this quarry from Stranger Things or The Walking Dead or The Hunger Games. They were all filmed at this site. The reservoir will eventually hold 2.4 billion gallons of emergency water for the city. But unfortunately, you can't high dive from the cliffs. If you're a gardening aficionado, you're going to love the Atlanta Botanical Gardens. We've been members at the Atlanta Botanical Gardens for over 25 years, and it's one of our most favorite places in the city. We visit at least 6 times a year. No matter the season, even in winter, there's something to see and explore. If you love beautiful gardens, you definitely want to check out the Atlanta Botanical Gardens. The Chattahoochee River is another great recreational resource. We love to go tubing on the Hooch several times every summer, and one of our other favorite things to do all year is to visit what we call Dog Island, where all the dog owners bring their pups to splash around and play in the river. Now, City of Atlanta alone has almost 5,000 acres of parkland and green space, and that's just the beginning of this network of parks and trails that runs throughout in-town Atlanta, all the way out through DeKalb County, Cobb County, Gwinnett County, and beyond. So if you like an active outdoor lifestyle, Atlanta is a great place to live. Number 2, travel. Atlanta is a great place to live if you love to travel. Most Atlantans take it for granted that we have one of the busiest airports in the world and that you can get to many parts of the world on a nonstop flight. For a quick trip, you're more or less 2 hours to New York City, DC, Miami, Mexico, and the Bahamas. A 3-hour flight will get you to most of the Caribbean and Central America, and Spain, Portugal, France, and the UK are about 8 hours nonstop. If you don't feel like flying, you're just a short drive away from the lovely Blue Ridge Mountains in North Georgia, with endless waterfalls, hiking trails, and you can even connect to the Appalachian Trail. Chattanooga, Tennessee is only a 2-hour drive, where you can visit the crazy lovely and mysterious Rock City, and also Cloudland Canyon State Park, and the historic Civil War battlefield at Chickamauga. Or you can drive down to the Atlantic Ocean, be on the beach in 5 hours. The Gulf of Mexico and the Florida Panhandle is about 7 hours drive. So if you love to travel, Atlanta is a great place to live. Number 3, the food scene. People moving to Atlanta sometimes don't realize how international Atlanta is. We have people moving here from all over the world. It's like a giant magnet. And as a result, we have an incredibly vibrant and diverse food scene. Many of my clients who've moved here from out of state have said that the international food scene has turned out to be one of their favorite things about living in Atlanta. When people move here, they obviously bring their cuisine with them, so there's just an endless choice of places to eat. When we want to go out for dinner, we don't do Applebee's, we head right over to Buford Highway. On Buford Highway, there's hundreds of restaurants where you can get fresh and authentic food from all over the world. Four of the biggest communities in Atlanta are Mexican, Central American, Vietnamese, Korean, and Indian. And that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of the great cuisine available on Buford Highway. Add in a half a dozen international groceries and farmers markets, and you're in food paradise. The food scene in Atlanta is one of our best kept secrets, but for most people considering Atlanta, it's really not on their radar. To sum it up, Atlanta has a very vibrant, active, and diverse culture. If you like to stay busy and enjoy the outdoors, if you like arts, music, sports, no matter what, Atlanta is filled with great activities for your mind and your body. Add to that thousands of restaurants serving every kind of cuisine you can imagine, and as I always say, you will not be hungry or bored living in Atlanta. So as always, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the box below. If you're thinking of making the move to Atlanta or thinking about making an investment in Atlanta, I'd love to talk to you. Feel free to reach out anytime. Thanks.